Hot dog, Bravehearts. It's Black Friday sale. That's right. Become the Light Black Friday sale. We've had a lot of people over the weekend ask if I could come on and do some Q&As about products. So that's what I'm doing today, okay? And when I said hot dog, look at my shirt. Hot dog, pop, burger. Got some French fries on here. I'm all set, right? Hot dog, it's the Black Friday sale. Listen, I want to get something really clear. Healing is sickness and disease. You wouldn't have to have a healing if you were healed. You wouldn't have to have a healing if you're in alignment. You wouldn't have to have a healing if you actually practice unconditional love and care for, the body that you're renting while you're here, okay? Most people don't know how to look after this rental. Take a look. Healing is sickness and disease. Okay. So, if I'm right, then guess what? Then we're not getting symptoms from our body, negative symptoms. We're getting messages. So let's change symptoms into messages, and let's understand this. Why can't you love, honor, and respect 50 trillion cells and 500 trillion bacteria? Why can't you do that? Well, because you're programmed not to. You're programmed to feed the minority that feed off the majority of the population. Whether you believe this or not, but 95% of the population is unconscious when it comes to their subconscious programs. And if you don't believe me, then why are we in this situation? Why is it that 99% of the population have parasites? And the reality is this, I'm going to get to that, but understand something. I don't have a parasite cleanse because understand something. You should never have to do a parasite cleanse or a heavy metal cleanse, okay? Or a super duper detox. Oh my God, I'm going to do this deep cleanse, okay? If you were running what we call a perfect day. Now, if you knew what a perfect day was on an emotional, mental, physical, and spirit level, and you actually practice it long enough and strong enough that it's your main prominent, dominant program in your subconscious. I don't ever have to worry how tired I get, how hungry I get, okay? How lonely I get, because I don't get lonely anymore. But the reality is I don't care how tired or hungry I get. I'm not going to opt for junk. I'm not going to do it. And how did I get there? Well, by running a program long enough and strong enough. Look, tell me that the majority of the population doesn't run away from pain, and tell me that they're not in pain from running away from it. No, they're in more pain. Understand this. I told you it was love messages that you're out of alignment that you're getting, and you called them symptoms. And guess what? Because the medical system, is run by a system that money doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter how much money they spend, because you really think at the end of the day that they're in the business of making money. Well, the people behind the shadows aren't in the business of making money. They're in the business, of feeding off of your energy, of your light. That's why become the light. You need to become the light. You don't want to go to the light. Where they shine the light, they're just giving you half measures when it comes to the way that we need to live our life. Okay, I get a love message, you call it a symptom. What do you do with a symptom? You go and you go, oh, I got to figure out why I got this symptom. What part of me is out of alignment? Okay, what part of me do I need to align? No, right away you run to someone to save you. You run to the doctor, okay? And right away, you've been taught, because it's programming for the last 140 years, 50 years, we have programming that pain is our enemy, symptoms are an enemy, and we need to kill those symptoms. We need to kill cancer too. I need to kill this headache, okay? Kill, kill, kill. Think about it. That's what we're taught by them, is to kill things, to burn things, to cut things out, to poison things. That's the medical system for you. And I'm not trying to put them down because guess what? They're good for only 2% of, yet people aren't going to like this one, but they're good for about 2%, maybe maximum on a bad day, 5% of what they do, okay? Because they have no business in preventative health care. And that means that nobody should be going to them unless they're in an emergency situation. And most people are in an emergency situation because they actually go to them. So here we go. Love messages, which you call symptoms. Symptoms then go to what? Conditions. Conditions then go to diseases. Diseases go to critical care eventually. And that's because you go to critical care experts that actually create it. Look, at the beginning, if you would have actually done a perfect day, I tell everyone this. You need to take, and not because I have a sale going on, and you don't even have to buy from me. You know, buy from whoever you intuitively want to. But the reality is this, you got to take 30% of what you make. I'm going to keep stating it because guess what? Everybody else is going to be stating it pretty soon. 30% of what you make and that you would have spent on going to the supermarket, you need to go and get what we call nutraceuticals that actually have and are filled with light and frequency, otherwise high vibrational nutrition. It doesn't matter how much you eat from the supermarket, you're full, but did you feed yourself? I mean, we don't, hey, supper's ready, time to eat. Supper's ready, time to nourish. Okay, lunch is ready, time to nourish, not time to eat. They call us useless eaters for a reason, because we're so easy to program to eat garbage. And we treat ourselves like a garbage can. So healing is sickness and disease. And understand something. Anybody that is sick is trying to heal. And anybody that's sick, it's the body's trying to purge because you don't know how to create a perfect day. And guess what? You don't know how to do therapeutic vomiting. You don't know how to do vaginal infusion. You don't know how to do an ultimate coffee enema. You don't understand that a fever is just burning off infection. You're not going to die from it. And it doesn't matter whether you're 2 days old, okay, you would use a little ear syringe, or you're 92 years old and you would use an ultimate coffee enema stainless steel bucket. Where is that, Todd? If you can grab it, that'd be great. So the reality is most people don't understand that. Most people don't understand that the burner is actually the bowel. And the bowel is creating so much bad bacteria that's giving off endotoxin, and you're leaking that into your blood, your lymph, and your tissues. And so your body has to heat up on the inside to burn the infection, just like you would boil water to try to get rid of the bad bacteria in there. Well, what do you think your body's doing? And how much energy does that take when you could just pull the cork out of the bottom of your butt, okay, called your anus, and you could do an ultimate coffee enema? Or even if you just did a warm water enema with black diamond in it, or you did one with tummy love for children, okay? So anyways, if you have any questions, you can actually bring them in to me. You can put your questions in on Facebook at Dr. Daryl Wolf, Instagram Dr. Daryl Wolf, TikTok is Dr. Daryl Wolf, okay? And then YouTube, it's Doc of Detox, Rumble, Doc of Detox, Telegram, it's Doc of Detox, official, okay? Because there's a lot of people trying to duplicate me now. All right, so I'm going to talk about a few questions that people wanted to know. Somebody sent in, Susan sent in, okay, from Facebook, and she says, can you show me a home nebulizer? Well, first of all, I'm going to show it to you right here. There's a home nebulizer, everybody. Okay, they're not expensive, all right? And a home nebulizer is probably one of the best investments you're going to make, and it truly is. Okay, let me just see here for a second. Todd, can you please put this together properly? Thank you. Oh, here it is. Can you come over here and do this for me? Anyway, so let me talk about this, okay? You got to get this. So we got powder as a nutritional product. We got liquid as a nutritional product. But what if we had a gas as a nutritional product? Can you put that together? Thank you. And so understand something. We have people that have been in the most critical situations, and there's always a breathing problem when it gets critical, okay? And understand something, the healing is incredible, and it's also inexpensive. So to answer your question, I'm going to show it to you, okay? Now this has infinite iodine in it. Look at this. Look at that. Look how much comes out, okay? Now, she's asking, what can we put in there? I'm going to show you. But look at this. So I'm going to go to sleep, right? I'm going to go lay down or go have a nap or whatever the case may be. Let me take my Teslas off. I'm going to put this on. And all you have to do is just lay there and fall asleep if you want. Or you could be working on your computer, or you could be watching it, Netflix, if that's what you do, or doing anything you want. You could be reading a book. And how difficult is it to actually put this on? It's not difficult at all. I would try them out. You know, this one's a little bit noisier. The one I have in my bedroom is not as noisy. But that was infinite iodine that you just saw there. And the infinite iodine comes in a very large bottle, okay? Or it comes in a 4-ounce bottle, or it comes in a spray. Now, just know this, okay? So let's talk about iodine. If a mother takes in iodine, infinite iodine is molecular iodine. It's the only pure iodine. You can take in as much iodine of infinite iodine. It's only the only iodine that does not have any toxic residue, no matter how much you do. Because we have stage 4 inflammation patients, they call C patients, and they're actually doing 1.5 ounces a day. And they're also nebulizing. Why? Because when you're dealing with breast cancer, okay, do you think the lungs aren't affected? Oh my gosh. So we're going to nebulize, and we're going to drink 1.5 ounces, and we're going to use the infinite iodine to actually spray on the area. Now, when a mother does infinite iodine every day, okay, and I would say usually you would do 5 sprays at the lowest maintenance of infinite iodine. If you were pregnant, because that's what she's asking, what you would actually do is you would actually do 20 sprays a day, and your child, okay, its mentality will come up 30-40%. This is a study that was done. This is not just make-believe. Mothers that have not been on iodine during their pregnancy, their child will be 30-40% lower in IQ. How's that? And also we know that iodine also shuts down, and it's a trigger for helping to get rid of any mutated cells. Okay? It's the kill switch. All right? Okay, let me see here. Okay, Jim's asking, why would I take daily cleansing tea, okay, if my bowels move fine? Okay, well, here's the daily cleansing tea. Whoop. Okay, right here. Okay, that's the daily cleansing tea right here. And daily cleansing tea, why would I move if they're fine? Well, the reality is they're not moving fine, my friend. How's that? Okay, I'll tell you right now, my diet is based on 85-90% of a whole plant-based diet and doing my nutraceuticals. And the reality is I know when I take daily cleansing tea, a little bit in the morning and a little bit at night, daily cleansing tea is not a laxative. It doesn't have any laxative, doesn't have any stimulant in it. And what it'll do is it gently cleans the lymph, the lungs, the blood, the liver, and the large intestine, and the kidneys. And you can take it every morning, every night. It's not addictive. And people say, yeah, but when I stop taking the daily cleansing tea, my bowels don't run as well. That's right. And when you stop exercising, you're not going to feel as well either. When you stop eating right, you're not going to feel well either. Well, why do you have to do something like that every day? Well, are you going to tell me that we shouldn't do something that's not a stimulant, it's not a laxative, but it helps to support all the detox organs gently and lovingly? Don't you think that's going to give you the edge? You don't want to pile up. Look, here's the problem. You know, for the first 15 years when I was a practitioner, we would put people on deep cleanses. We'd start off with the colon, go to the liver, okay? Go to the kidneys, clean the lymph, all right? Do the lungs. Oh my gosh, it was so exhausting for people. You know, the more toxic they were, the less energy they had, but still we had to go and do it. And there was this for this organ, this for this organ, that for that organ. And like I told you right now, you know what? Do a parasite cleanse if you want to bring them down, but make sure that you've really opened up your large intestine, okay? That the parasites are just going to flow out, because you don't want to be killing a bunch of parasites and have all those dead soldiers rotting inside of you. Do you know how toxic you're going to become? And understand something. Healthy people don't have parasites. And you know what? You're not going to believe me, but guess what? People that don't believe in sickness, people that don't believe in disease, and actually know how to create a perfect day on an emotional, physical level, they don't get sick. I know you don't believe that, because you know what? You believe in what the majority does. I mean, everybody follows the majority. Well, they got to be right. Meanwhile, the majority's never been right. The majority is a statistic. And when you get a stat given to you from a health practitioner or a medical practitioner, just know, just don't act like the majority of the population, okay? Find your true authentic self in loving and honoring, respecting yourself, and creating a protocol. And it takes time. You know, gentle baby steps, loving steps will get you there. Okay, Rafa, I've got about 6 questions here. Are there any more?
No, yes, sir.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Okay, so to answer your question, so I'm leaving on Wednesday morning, and when I travel, you know, I'll do daily cleansing tea the night before, a little bit more because I want to travel, I want to lighten the load. And then I will take a daily cleansing tea cap when I go to get on the plane, because I've got almost a 12-hour flight. And, you know, most people are going to get constipated, sluggish from that. When I'm on the plane, I'm going to make sure I drink a lot of structured water. I'm going to put my Mag Infusion in there, my magnesium in there, and also my Ormus minerals and a little bit of Black Diamond. When I land, because I'll be spraying infinite iodine in the back of my throat, and I'll drink a gallon of water by the time I leave till the time I land in Phoenix on Wednesday night, and I won't have jet lag, okay? And I'll also be wearing these Tesla blue light glasses, because the problem is when you don't wear, okay, when you don't wear something to protect your brain, your eyes burn, and that's all the blue light, and then all the 5G that we actually will get in a plane. 5G is in a plane in every airport, okay? So I want to protect my eyes. I want to protect my brain. And people have eye disorders because they're actually getting blue light poisoned. And just think about it, guys. Think about, okay, first of all, those people that are the psychotyrants, they don't think that they're evil. They think it's their God-given right because they believe they're the gods of this planet. And they believe it's their right because we're so stupid that we eat the garbage, we drink the garbage, we listen to their garbage, and you know what they call us? Useless eaters, useless thinkers. And understand something, I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. Why don't you just take a look what's in a supermarket? 2% of a supermarket food is only worth eating, and guess what? So 98% of it is garbage, and that's what people live on. That's why they feel like garbage. That's why they have all these symptoms. The physical human body would not have any symptoms at all if you understand that you need to feed your spirit and understand that they're feeding off of your spirit. Why do you think all this low vibrational toxic waste, okay, is in your water, in your air, in your food? Who gives a crap about you? They don't care about you at all, okay? If anything, you're in their way. Okay? And if you don't believe me, see where we are in 5 years when we've got 30% of the population out of work. But don't worry, you'll get your universal supplement. Seriously? Okay. You know as well as I do that if you're not being creative, if you're not creating something every day, then guess what? You're going to fade away. We really need to get critical thinking, or at least start with logical thinking. So anyways, I will take a daily cleansing tea cap when I start flying, and then that night we won't have any tea there, so I will take a cap before I go to bed, and guess what? I don't have to feel constipated the next day. I can feel light, and because on Thursday I've got meetings, and then Friday we're going to go ATVing in Sedona up in the mountains. Okay, I remember the last time that we were there, and I'm actually going to video it. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you around a little bit. And I remember last time we were there, after we were done, I went into the shower, and oh, you should have saw all that red mud and dirt. Just, you know, it felt really good getting nitty gritty, and then it felt really good getting it off. But it's a lot of fun going ATVing up in the mountains there in Sedona. Beautiful, just love it. Anyways, and I'm going there because on the 21st, we're meeting with about 100 of, I'd say the most powerful health leaders in North America, and it's called A World Without Cancer. And understand something, cancer is an illusion. Oh, that is not. My mother died of it, my father died of it. Well, so did mine, my mother and my father. But it's an illusion, okay? It's an illusion. Our thoughts create everything. Our images create everything. I don't believe in cancer. I know that people get inflammation, but inflammation is every disease. You know, I'm serious. Inflammation causes the stiffness, the swelling, okay, and the pain. That's what it causes. And the inflammation is because you're out of alignment on an emotional, physical, and spirit level. Oh, yes, you are. If, you know what, you could be religious, but that doesn't mean that you're spirited. That doesn't mean that you feed your spirit. Tell me about it, you know, because people that are really spirited, okay, they go inside. They don't look outside for the answer. The answers are inside you. And if you're not feeding your spirit, you're not bringing up your vibration. And the whole game down here is bringing up your vibration. Okay, becoming the light for yourself and then shining that on others. All right, so Debbie says, I have hormonal problems. What would you do for this situation? What would I do? Well, believe it or not, the same thing that I do is the same thing that you can do. And understand something. What turns hormonal problems around faster than anything else? Not creams and potions and lotions. No. What turns it around is actually the humic acid that is found in our black diamond and our black gold. Can you hand me that? But if you've got a real severe problem, okay, if you've got a severe problem with, thank you, with your hormones, all right, you want to use humic acid. This is humic acid concentrate. Now, humic acid concentrate, I'm going to tell you something, okay? You do 1 teaspoon of this 3 times a day if you've got a severe hormonal disruption there, because that's what it is. It's a disruption, and it's actually from acidity, guys. It's actually from too much adrenaline, too much cortisol, and too many histamines in the body creating too much lactic uric acid. It's really what's throwing you off, and your pH is just dropping like a rock. The humic acid, within a few days, even if it's a chronic problem, 1 teaspoon 3 times a day, just mix it with water and drink it. It's going to balance you. And it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're young or you're old. And if you want to stay and keep it in check, then you put a little bit of black diamond, okay? Just 1/16 of a teaspoon. If you don't have any hormonal problems, and do that twice a day. And then if you do blender drinks, or if you have soups or anything, try to get at least a teaspoon of this twice a day into you. And you're not going to have those problems. You're also not going to be experiencing what they call the flu or cold. See, I don't get flu or colds, okay? And I can tell you right now, I got fluorocolds when I believed in fluorocolds, and also when I ate like what most people consider to be a healthy diet. That's when I got fluorocolds. And a flu is just the byproduct of waste that the cell's trying to get rid of, that your government and the medical system actually say is a virus. There has never been such thing as a live virus in the whole history of humankind. They've never isolated a virus ever, 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 ever. Okay? And understand something. Look at what you did. You actually stayed 6 feet away from people. And now we know, because you don't hear from Fauci much anymore, eh? That liar, liar, pants on fire. You know, a virus can't jump 1 inch less 6 feet. And they said, well, why did you say that? Well, I just thought, you know, what? No, you didn't. And remember something about Fauci, everyone. He's the same one that headed up the AIDS movement in the 80s, okay? And then guess what? I didn't know. I really thought that HIV was real and that they isolated the virus. But no, these are people that had a certain amount of symptoms. They got them on a drug that actually was a cancer drug, and it was taken off the market. And then they brought this thing on the market because they took it off the market because it was killing people, and then they gave it to the HIV patients. I mean, seriously, are we like, what the hell is wrong with us? What the hell is wrong with us? That's what I want to know. What's wrong with us? Most of you believe and are going to be going off, and now you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to say, oh, at Thanksgiving dinner, oh, I can't believe it. I never liked Uncle Harry, and he gave me the flu, the cold. He can't. It's impossible. He could spit on you, okay? All right? You're not going to get it. You got it because you're detoxifying, and guess what? Because you're toxic. And guess what? You don't think that the majority of the population gets sick around the same time because they kind of eat the same low vibrational diet? And then with the change of seasons, your body goes into a detox with change of seasons to prepare for the next season. You know, I just like, I shake my head. And I shake my head because, not because people are stupid, but just how strategic their programming is. So strategic. You have no idea, you know, how easy health is. It's not a puzzle. What they did is they took this 1,000-piece puzzle and then they threw the pieces everywhere and said, try to figure it out. Well, guess what? A medical doctor can't even figure it out. How would you like to be a medical doctor where hardly anybody gets well and you actually know that they're not getting well, that you're actually using a petroleum product to actually shut off the actual symptoms to the brain, and then the person thinks they're healed, and then guess what? Because it's a toxin, it causes dehydration, inflammation first, and then inflammation is a fire, so it causes dehydration to your organs, to your tendons, to your ligaments, to your muscles, and it pulls out the calcium out of your bones. What a setup this whole thing is. Yeah, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, let's see what we got here. Here we go. Sally says, my 3-year-old goes to the bathroom about once every 3 to 4 days. What should I do? Okay. And you know what? Well, don't give her laxatives, that's for sure. A laxative would go into the body, and when it gets into the body, okay, and it starts to get processed in there and it breaks down, the body goes, get this poison out of here. So it wants to shoot the toxin out, and when it does, it shoots out the looser stool. I'm telling you right now that with the daily cleansing tea, that's the most gentle. So let's say your 3-year-old, weighs what, 40 pounds? Let's say 30 pounds. So if a person that's 150 pounds takes 8 ounces twice a day, she's only 1/5. So what I would do is just start her off with 1 ounce of daily cleansing tea morning and night. And if you don't want to make the tea, then I would tell you to mix just maybe start off with 1/3 of a capsule of the Daily Cleansing Tea Caps and put that in a smoothie or in a cooked cereal, or you could even sprinkle it on her sandwich. It's still going to work. But the reality is to start off there and do 1/3 of a capsule, and there's no laxative, there's no stimulant in it, and then just see how her bowels are moving 3 to 4 days later. But what we want to do is, a 3-year-old still needs to have a bowel movement 20 to 30 minutes after each meal. She should have that type of peristaltis stimulation still going on in here. As we get older, our schedules kind of dictate when we go to the bathroom, and our diet, and what type of hydration we have. But understand this, the other thing you could do with her is do a warm water, okay, structured water, warm water enema, and just put a tablespoon of Tummy Love, because Tummy Love is so amazing for enemas for kids. And also if you give your child Tummy Love, if you give your child Tummy Love, you'll cut down the flu, the cold by probably about 80-90%, or all the way to 100. And the reason why is because it's 70% humic and it's 30% fulvic, and all of our humic and fulvic, we're the only company that I know of that process our humic and fulvic without chemicals. Yeah, that's right, just filtration. And what happens is the 30% fulvic is good for heavy metals, acidity, parasites, and things of that nature. But the humic is the really good one that actually will actually capture any type of viruses, which are just waste products from cells because mommy gave too many treats and too many sweets and too many processed foods. And also, the problem here, one of the biggest problems, is as soon as we start going out to society, nobody's allowed to go to the washroom unless they put their hand up. Nobody's allowed to go to the washroom sometimes till recess or lunch, okay? And we also make going to the bathroom an embarrassment for children. If the parents were to actually talk about bowel movements and show the child, really, honey, you eat 3 times a day, so you need to have 3 bowel movements, and mommy shouldn't be using a whole roll of toilet paper. It shouldn't be that gucky. It shouldn't float to the bottom. It shouldn't come out like a string. It should come out with a young child about 3 to 4 inches long, and it should float, no cracks, no mucus on it, no blood, right? Okay? So the reality is it's not any mother or father's fault, but nobody knows how to have children when we have children. Nobody. You know, there might be 1 out of 1,000 people that actually understand this, okay? Because we're all programmed to what? To get sick and have disease, as it shows back here. Okay, healing is sickness and disease, and that's what it is. Healing is sickness and disease, all right? And the reality is, you're either healed or you're trying to heal. And most people are trying to heal all the time. Because why? Because they just want to fit in. And if you want to get fit in, you're going to get done in over this period, right? From here, right, to actually January the 1st, you're going to get done in, okay? All right, anybody that has stage 2, 3, 4 of the big C, okay, you're going to light that sucker up. That tumor is going to grow like crazy. The pimples are going to be coming out for those people who have pimples. You're going to have worse pimples. Those who have pain in certain areas, the pain's going to get worse, okay? You can't poison your body and think that the tumor's not going to grow, the pimple's not going to grow, the boil's not going to come back, okay? The low back's not going to get sore, because it is, because you're going to be pooping in your pelvis, okay? Those of you that have a hip problem, it's only going to get worse. This period here from, like I said, from November to January 1st, anybody watch, your problems are only going to be worse. And if they're not worse, it's because you pulled so much calcification and you made so much scar tissue around the area that now you've got this block. But now you're stiff. And then after a while, you're going to have to go for surgery and get that scar tissue calcification block you'll have to get it cut out unless you know somebody like me or my practitioners that use things like Wolf Non-Surgical, nutraceuticals, Perfect Day Diet, proper exercises, okay? Ultimate Coffee Enema, therapeutic vaginal infusion. These things really work. And if you want to bring the thunder down, Cellsonic, Regeneration, and Cardio MedBed, you know what? There's nothing that's not reversible. There's nothing that's not reversible. All diseases are reversible, and everybody that's been taught that a certain disease is not reversible, you know what? What happens if you get everybody thinking that something's not reversible? Is it reversible? No, because the mind creates everything, and for most people, their mind is a landmine, okay? All right? All right. I have a portable structure unit. Why would I get a house unit? Okay, all right. Okay, Jim. For those of you who don't know, our structure units are on sale, but when you get those, you get a credit. Just like when if you buy Merigen or Dentagen or Alzagen or Cardigen or Ozogen, which is the calcium ion therapy, we have to give you a credit because the companies don't allow us to take and bring the price down. Okay, but basically almost everything is on sale if you take a look, all right? The structure units, just so you know, we give you a 90-day money-back guarantee on all of them. One's here is for a large pool. This is what I have on my pool. Believe it or not, when I came to Mexico here, we found a place and we did a huge long lease on this place to purchase down the road. And I looked at the pool and I went, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it's so big. Our pool is 25 by 50 feet. And I know that's just like, and then I tried to see if I could get it actually made smaller, but it was going to cost so much money. So we put a big natural action structure unit on it, and they're on sale too, for the pool, for the commercial, for the house, under the counter, shower, you name it, they're all on sale. The structured water units, all of them have a 90-day money-back guarantee. They never break down. Once you put them on, that's it. Most people don't understand, you know, when you're asking me why you should get a house unit, well, because if you get a house unit, that means all the taps are running structured water. That means structured water in the toilet, which means you're not going to get that iron stain. You're not going to have to wash as much. You're not going to have the tub ring as much. When you go to do your clothes, you don't need to use hardly any laundry soap because structured water cleans so much better. When you shower, even if there's chlorine or fluoride in your water, it won't take it out, but it changes the structure, so now you're not poisoning yourself or your children. And you can take the water directly. You know, I have a filter, but when I travel, I'll just take tap water anywhere because I have a filter here. It's mainly for taste. Because when you structure water, I know people don't want to believe this, but you're protected from the heavy metals in it, from the viruses, which are just toxins, from the bacteria in it, and you're also protected from any of the chemicals. Yeah, it's the truth. You know, it's the same when it rains, when it comes down. I mean, with little Billy spraying the skies and the heavy metals and the acidity, why aren't the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, the microorganisms dying? Well, they're not. They're not dying. They're thriving. And all that stuff is still in there, but the water was structured by the ozone layer, the same thing that we're doing to structure the water. So yeah, I would get one for my house, only because when you shower, it feels silky. And when you're done, your skin feels so beautiful and smooth. Your eyes don't burn, okay? Your hair doesn't get to be straw and brittle-like. I mean, you don't want to be showering in a chlorine fluoridated water because it's like a gas chamber, especially if you're running hot water. How many people know that a hot shower, you'll take in as much chlorine and fluoride, okay, as if it's in there, if the fluoride's in there, as if you drank 20 glasses worth of tap water. That's right, because your pores are like mouths and it's just going straight in, okay? All right, oh yeah. Let me see here. Steve, can you tell us more about nebulizing? All right. And then this will be the last question that I have unless more come up. All right. Okay. You can nebulize infinite iodine, and you can nebulize as much as you want. Just think if you were nebulizing infinite iodine, or how about Bright Eyes, right? Okay. This is Bright Eyes nanofulvic. You can nebulize that. You can also nebulize super silver liquid. And guess what else? We have people that have stage 3 and 4 and even 5 now. They say 5. Oh my God, they added a new one. It's all just a game. Stage 5 inflammation, they call it the big C. And we have them actually nebulizing the Merigen, okay, that they can take orally. They can nebulize that to get it into their lungs, their brain, and their blood. And it's more powerful than getting a transfusion. That's right. Okay, intravenous. All right? Yeah, back to the nebulizing. So yes, you can nebulize all these different products. There's no toxicity to them. When you start, if you want, go into my Perfect Day Guide. Oh, and by the way, the Perfect Day Guides are on sale too, everyone. This is the Perfect Day Guide right here. It's 550 pages. And this is the Perfect Day Patient to Practitioner Guide. Do you get that? Patient to Practitioner Guide. That's because you read this and you're going to know just as much as any naturopathic doctor, as much as anybody that's been in the business for 30 to 40 years. It's all in here. And it's all about you taking massive personal action and you looking after yourself that you can look after your family. Okay? All right. Okay, so I'll be back on and for Q&As again, but just know this, everyone. Start really observing yourself. Look at how much you actually say and do and talk about that you don't even believe in. And understand something. Believe in yourself. And you need to believe in yourself. The world's never going to change for you. So just know that. There's nothing wrong with the world. You can see one person in a family, they're drug addicted. One person could be an alcoholic. One person just pours himself into their work and nothing else. And then you're going to see another person that has great relationships. They love what they do, and they do what they love, and they're just living their life. And understand, the job of the psychoterrorists out there and the corporations and the government is to distract you, disrupt you, make false promises, and keep you on the hook as long as they can, and that's called slavery, okay? So understand something. This is called Earth School, and if you're not protecting and minding your own vibration, your own frequency, then you haven't even started to actually become the light. Yes. My daughter takes the cleansing tea daily and claims to experience cramping. Why do you think this happens? Because your daughter takes the cleansing tea, but she's not drinking enough water. You know what? So, and your daughter is eating processed dehydrated food. So guess what? This here is called the highway. And understand something. We need to have moisture. That makes the mucus that the body makes slippery. So your daughter's, don't tell me your daughter's not eating processed foods. Don't tell me she's not junking out. And then the other thing is your daughter's not drinking enough water. I mean, you have to think about it, guys. Would you bath your baby in the same water? Or would you have the whole family bath in the same water? Oh, well, I guess if water was rationed. But the reality is all your cells are bathing in the same water. Unless we're drinking, everyone should be drinking 1.5 ounces for every pound they weigh of structured water. And understand something. Remember, that minerals, okay, all right, create your electrolytes. Only if the minerals are electrically charged. So get your daughter on Beyond Ormus Minerals, okay, and get your daughter to drink more water. And if you drink warm water to hot water throughout the day, you're going to open things up and cleanse things even better. Now, I don't know how old your daughter is, but the reality is the more cramping, okay, the more bloating, the more low back pain, the more fibrin and scar tissue, which are called adhesions, are growing and causing our intestines to stick together and even become twisted. How's your daughter's period? I guarantee you her period's not a walk in the park either. So the reality is everybody should be on daily cleansing tea, morning and night. And if you're not doing that, the daily cleansing tea caps. And understand this, there'll always be everybody. Do you ever notice everybody's out there right now pushing heavy metal cleanses, pushing parasite cleanses, okay? And the reality is, why aren't they pushing a perfect day? Why aren't we? You know what? I'm going to tell you something. Do I sell products? Yes, I do. Are they supplements? No, they're not. They're nutraceuticals. And do I believe we need them? Yes, I do. Okay, well, if it's not in the food, and if it's not in the soil, it's not in the food. And if it's not in the food, it's not going to get in you. And then we've got to fill you up with something that's high vibrational, because if we don't do that, you're going to end up eating things that are low vibrational and toxic. And then you're going to believe in what? Sickness and disease, because everybody has it, except the people that actually become the light. And what does that mean? They lighten up, okay, on a physical, emotional, and spirit level. That's right. Understand something. We were created by God Almighty. We are spirit beings. Okay? I'm not buying into any BS anymore. There is no authority over me. There's not one human being that's an authority over me on this planet. Can I be pushed around? Sure. Can they try to intimidate me? Absolutely. But they have no authority over me. I have no fear from them at all. And the only reason why we're in this mess is because the majority of the population are fearful. They're fearful about everything. They're even fearful about their own success. I was talking to one of my practitioners that if they could just get rid of their fear, they'd have so much success. I said, you're so fearful that you believe that if you were to go and take massive personal action and be all in, and if you weren't successful, that would be the end of you. I go, that's what your problem is. And she goes, oh my God, you're right. I go, forget it. You were set up. You need to find your passion. You need to become the light for yourself. You need to have you got to have no reason to smile. You've got to be putting a slight smile on your face and walking through this world. If we all did that with our shoulders back, connected to our breath. All right. So anyways, yep, Black Friday sale started today. And it will be on, I don't know, I think it's on for, could be the next 10 days, I think, or something. I'm not sure. I'm not the one running it. We've put so much aside to be able to give up to a 50% discount. Not everything can be that way because we just don't have the margins. But understand, we're going to go as far as we can. Do you know how many people will buy their product for the whole year right now? Because they're planning ahead, okay? All right. So anyways, the next time that I'm doing a Heal Yourself, Heal Your Family is Wednesday, December the 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Excuse me. And starting next week, we'll actually have the link that you can come on. It's a special link for this show. And Rock with the Doc, and you can give this link out to anyone. When I come on Wednesday, December the 11th, I'll be on from 8 p.m. Eastern Time till about, could go as long as 11 o'clock. Come on, stay as long as you want and leave, okay? No charge. It's free. And then Rock with the Doc is Saturday, January the 4th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be on there for anywhere from 4 to 5 hours. And both of these is not me just talking. It's people coming on, just like you, asking questions about their loved ones, about themselves, okay? Finding out how to create a strategy so that they can have the life that they deserve, okay? So, and the greatest show on earth, okay, so I'm going to be getting anywhere, it could be around, you know, I put 33, but it could be around 30 to 40 of the top Braveheart hero practitioners around the world. They'll be coming on what's called the greatest show on earth. And they'll be coming on at least once a month to let you know what they're up to, what strategy we need to do. These are the people that do the homework for us, that strategize, that uncover the BS. And that would be the dysfunctional belief systems. And because who's got the time? I said to myself, you created Braveheart Nation Studios. You've got the Braveheart Nation, BHNapp.com. And guess what? On there, nobody can tell us that we can not have these people. Most of these people, you'll never see them on any platform. They'll be taken down. And these people will be on our platform and they'll never be taken down. Okay. Our fulfillment centers are in Australia, Canada, and United States, but we ship all over the world, everyone. All over the world. You want to check out our BHN Power Pack. If you want to check out our BHN Power Pack show, it's on every 2 weeks. I will prove that everything is reversible. Everything is reversible. Oh my God, did I ever get my butt fried? Let me see, it was about 2 years ago. And I said that with cell sonic regeneration, energy medicine device, that we could shut down cancer. And I already told you, and I'd like you to try to prove it to me that I'm wrong, but cancer is inflammation. And I can prove by doing thermography before and after that cell sonic regeneration will actually shut down the inflammation. Whether you believe this or not, and I'm going to be talking about this because nobody's going to try to scare me or bully me anymore. And if you ever watch the video they did on me to try to say that I said that we cure cancer, you can't cure cancer. It's called a perfect day. Nobody can cure you, okay? You can't even cure yourself. You know, even if you cured yourself from something, if you go back to your old personality, you're going to have it again. You got to change your personality. You got to create a perfect day. You got to bring up your vibration. Okay, you got to make different choices and different decisions. That's what you got to do. Okay, so like I said, we'll have people come to us and they'll have like stage 4 inflammation. And understand, I'm not interested in working on people with critical cases. They can go to my practitioners if they've got a cell sonic regeneration or cardio med bed or whatever they do in the different cities. I don't want anybody coming down to DOD5star.com. Well, it's our healing resort. You know, we take on 6 people at a time. That's it. And with critical people, I will work on them from their home. Listen, you'd be surprised what you can do. You don't have to leave home to get well, okay? But I'm telling you right now, I will never take anybody in critical condition to come to my clinic ever again because they can't wait until somebody comes and then they pass on, okay, because the person didn't have the will to live or couldn't follow the program or their family, okay, talked them out of it, which happens all the time. I'm not putting anybody down, but I'm also not going to set myself up, okay, because that's what they love to do. Just, you know, let's get set up here. Remember something, most of the people that come to us that have the big C or they have a heart problem or they have anything, by the time they get to us, they've went the full gamut of the medical system. And then guess what? And then we come to actually show them how to heal themselves. And that's the truth. Think about it. It's not a fair game for natural health practitioners. It isn't. Is it fair? No. They get poisoned, okay? After a while, they get disheartened. They believe they can't heal because they couldn't heal them. Oh, we're done with you now. There's nothing we can do, okay? All right, so we're usually at the end of the list because guess what? Now their medical won't pay for us, but now, okay, we're gonna do it. And then people come and then I'll build a protocol and I'll go, if I was in your situation, this is what I would do. And then guess what? And then the person says they're gonna do it and then the family goes, oh my gosh, he's just after your money. Look, this stuff goes on all the time. I'm not the only guy. Every natural health practitioner, natural health doctor has to go through this stuff. And do you know where the snake oil salesman thing came from? Well, snake oil salesman was actually what they called medical doctors because their products were made out of petroleum. Snake oil. It's oil. It's petroleum. It had nothing to do with us. I'm a snake oil salesman because guess what? The majority of the population has been programmed to believe, okay, that they need drugs, chemo, radiation, and that high frequency nutraceuticals are a scam, really. We're not going to change the world. We're not out to. You can change your world by changing yourself. You ever seen it when you're really tired and you feel beat up by the world? And then guess what? You have some rest, maybe meditate, you go for a walk, you start eating and drinking and thinking properly, and then you love the world again. Well, what if you had a way that you could actually, nobody could ever disrupt you again or throw you off track? That's called Whole Life Coach Certified. You think I'm kidding? You spend 9 days with me, I'll change your life for the rest of your life, and I'll give you a money-back guarantee on it too, because you've been programmed, okay, to not just make yourself sick, but to make others sick, and let others make you sick. That's the deal, okay? Her periods are terrible. See, look at that. Okay, remember what I said? Okay, so here's the first question. Let me tell you something. I know what I'm talking about. I am an amazing practitioner. I'm an amazing practitioner. Are you amazing at what you do? And if you're not amazing at what you do, why is that? Because you don't have confidence about yourself. Everybody's got a passion, everybody's got a purpose, so why don't you find it? And why don't you rock it? And then when you start feeling like you got this, start letting people know that you're really good at it. I want to have people come into my life that are really good at everything, from carpentry to plumbing to you name it. Whatever it is, I want the best. I'm great at what I do. And this is not ego. Do you know another person that gives a money-back guarantee on almost everything we do? So I'm not the charlatan, and you know why I do that? I need to put that right in the face of the media and the government. And it's not, I'm trying to shove it at them. I'm trying to tell you, you're the healer you've been looking for. You're the lover you've been looking for. You're the miracle that you've been looking for. All we want to do is just show you how to do it. So anyways, here we go. So Sonia says, my daughter takes the cleansing tea daily and claims to experience cramping. Why do you think this happens? And then I said, I told her why. Because she's dehydrated and she's eating processed foods and she's not food combining properly. All right, she's like any other teenager, but the teenagers today, they're not going to make it. The teenagers today, they're not going to make it. They're going to be so sick, okay, that they're going to really have to take massive action just to be alive, less thrive. Look at the poison. My God, I never had that poison when I was younger, not even close to it. And I didn't have the EMF, the 5G. I didn't put the phone to my face. I guarantee you her daughter does it. She's having her period. She puts the phone to her face. I guarantee you she might even have Bluetooth. I guarantee you that the Wi-Fi doesn't get turned off at night. I guarantee you that there's junk food in the house. I guarantee you that the daughter's looking to be stimulated all the time. And every girl, teenager, okay, feels very, they lack confidence, okay? And no doubt, because Hollywood, thanks Hollywood for nothing, okay? All right, it makes every woman feel like they're inferior, all right? Anyway, so I said, I guarantee you that your daughter doesn't just have cramps from the daily cleansing tea. I said that she has probably painful periods. And guess what? 1 and 1 are 2, not 11. I'm really good at what I do. You do a consultation with me, it's $250 an hour. Usually you only need an hour. Then I give you unlimited calls with me for the rest of my life. Who does that? A guy who knows what he's doing, because I know that I'm going to teach you about yourself and I'm going to hold the line for you. And understand something. I have to hold the line because I have to get you to reprogram you to believe in you, to love you, to care for you, and to be able to come to your family and go, I won't eat that, I won't drink that, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to love myself and care for myself. That's what my job is. My job is to be the hero, the Braveheart with the roar until you find yours. And that roar is not screaming at people, that roar is holding the line. Just like a lion won't come from under the tree unless it's necessary. Her periods are terrible. She's 22, gets nauseated and cramping the last hours. Yeah, of course she does. Guess what? And guess what? She needs to do what? Vaginal infusion, the ultimate coffee enema. But guess what? If you were to go, okay, she's 22, so let's say she weighs 130 pounds. Okay, so now we know if she's 130 pounds, that would be about 65 would be if you split it in half, right? And then we're going to add another. So she needs 3 quarts of water a day. And if she even did 2 quarts of water with black diamond and in it and Ormus minerals, which makes it taste better, not worse, and the water was warm to hot, this girl would not have this problem. Not have this problem. And then take the daily cleansing tea, and she'd be having the most beautiful bowel movements. She wouldn't be bloated anymore, and she wouldn't get fat or cellulite, because you get fat and cellulite because she's got cramps. And when you've got cramps, you know that the waste is rotting inside of this beautiful 22-year-old. Now, when she's 30, she'll have, or maybe by the time she's 25, or maybe she has them already, she'll have ovarian cysts, she'll have bladder infection, she could have infertility. Eventually endometriosis, which is scar tissue webbing in her pelvis, and then we'll go to what we call a fibroid, which they call them all tumors now. Isn't that something? They used to be called fibroids 20 years ago, and then the tumor was cancerous. The fibroid was benign. Now they call them all tumors. And a friend of mine who's an oncologist said, yeah, they told us, no differentiating. They all have to be tumors now. And I said, well, don't you think that's just freaking the living crap out of people? Because most people believe a tumor is cancerous. He goes, yeah, but that's what they told us to do. They said, we have to do that because we don't want to be wrong. Really? Yeah. I said to him, you know what? That was just to create more fear in the person. They actually caused the problem. Look, my mother died of lung and tongue cancer. My father passed on from leukemia. You know, we got rid of his leukemia the first time, the second time, but not the third time. My mother couldn't even speak because her tumor was so big in her mouth. And guess what? After 10 days, okay, of doing the advanced water fasting, the ultimate coffee enema, vaginal infusions, my mother could speak clearly. As soon as I left, she went back to her second husband, and she went right back onto 5-star whiskey and smoking McDonald menthol cigarettes. And guess what? When I got back in 2 weeks, the thing blew right up, and then I couldn't get it to come down again. You know what? There's a certain point that you push it over the cliff. So anyways, this can all be resolved. And the reality is, believe it or not, if Sonia were to have her daughter come on with me, I could explain to her daughter in 10, 15 minutes, and I do it for free. I do it for free all the time. I could explain why she wants to do it. I said, do you want to be really clear thinking? Do you want to have a lot of energy? Do you not want to have cellulite? Do you not want to have fat cells? Do you not want to be bloated? Okay. Okay. Do you want to feel like a rock star? Well, that's what we're going to get. We're not just going to get rid of the cramping. We're going to get some really easy bowel movements coming out, and you're just going to feel so light and so excited about your life. You know, we're rotting out. Everybody's rotting out. Okay. Everybody is rotting out. I have no armpit smell. My bowel movements don't smell unless I go off. If I go off my diet and I eat something crappy, okay, my bowel movement will smell the next morning. Why? Because I ate garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. And then people go, well, my bowel movement doesn't smell anymore. Well, you don't smell it. You cannot eat garbage and not become garbage. Your large intestine is actually the compost of your body. It is the most important intestine, it's the most important organ, I mean. It's the most important organ in the human body. It creates your bacteria. Now the bacteria that I create, it rocks. I mean, it's like powerful. But you do know, and this is a fact today, that 99% of the population, okay, their bacteria is flipped. It's 85% bad, 15% good. It should be 85% good, 15% bad. And that's where the destruction comes in. You know, you can't get this through to people. Why don't you just go and take a look at everybody? If their belly's not sticking straight out, which means that, guess what? That's gas. That's gas. When somebody has a tight belly and it's sticking out, that's gas. When it's hanging down, that's the transverse colon fell right out of their core and it's hanging out. Their intestine is hanging out like a snake and it's hanging down between their legs. I'm not kidding. It's all just so normal, right? You know what? It's all just so normal because you put these medical doctors up on a pedestal, okay, and they know nothing about health, hardly anything, thank you. They hardly know anything about health, and that's not a lie, okay? And these doctors get so used to seeing everybody out of shape that it looks like they ate a beach ball and now they're just full of gas, and the gas is putting pressure up on the heart, and that's why people have angina or they can't get their breath, okay? Why do you think all these people, especially the elderly, have lung problems? And that's because they rotted from the bottom up, okay? It's true. It's true. It's all about the large intestine and the liver. You look after those two things, get the cork out. I can't drain the tub unless I pull the plug. You can't detoxify the body unless you pull the plug, and that would be in your rectum, and then you change the filter, which would be your liver. And people don't get it. So I've got a condition somewhere in my body, wherever it is, and guess what? It doesn't matter what the condition is. It's just an actual symptom that became a disease, that became a critical condition. And that's because, guess what? You don't understand the laws of nature. That's the bottom line. You have to understand the laws of nature. We're working on getting the perfect day. It actually will, where you're going to use AI, and we're going to have it in audio pretty soon. And we're going to do that with the Healthy to 100 book that I've written. Okay? And we're going to do that with all my guides that are in the BHN app. And remember something, everybody. Our app, okay, has the biggest selection of free masterclasses of any website out there, health website, okay? All right, so just know this, everyone. If you ever want to come for the most beautiful holiday, I've been taking all kinds of videos. They will be in the DOD5star.com website. You'll see all the beautiful things down here if you want to come for a holiday. We got people moving down here because they just want to get out of the country that they're in for reasons we know why. Or if you want to come down and stay at our DOD 5-star house, that's it right there, okay? It'll be one of the most beautiful experiences and healings you'll ever have in your life, and we will teach you how to create a perfect day on all levels, and I mean that, okay? Go to DOD5star.com, all right? And then Dr. Sage Wolf right now, he's in Toronto, but he's booked out. He's almost booked out in Calgary, and he's going to, I'll be talking about that in a minute, but he will fly anywhere around the world and teach you and your family how to do Wolf non-surgical. How about being your own practitioners? How about if you even just took the personal treatment and training, which can be done in as short as 5 to 7 days. That's it, 5 to 7 days, depending how many people are in there. You'll know how to actually fix the body better than any physio. And I don't want to say it, but most of all the other so-called professional body workers out there. I'm not trying to put them down. I'm trying to tell you that our technique is the best. And that, well, how many practitioners out there offer a money-back guarantee on the first treatment that we will take you further in the first treatment than all the others combined, okay? And if you want to get certified, he'll be there for 12 days and he'll come to your clinic. And if not, then if you just want to learn as your family, he'll come to your home, all right? These are all where we're having all our courses. Extopol Zihuatanejo, we'll be doing the Whole Life Coach, Wolf Non-Surgical, and the 3-day Pelvic Masterclass starting January the 29th. Then we go to Calgary, March the 19th. Then we come back to Extopol Zihuatanejo, April the 16th. Then we go to Stuart, Florida, May the 14th, and then we go to Ixtapa Zihuatanejo, which is here, October the 1st, okay? These are the prices for our courses. And like I said, Dr. Sage Wolf will be in Calgary on November the 18th. He will be doing Wolf non-surgical. He'll be doing full body thermography. Why get an x-ray when you can do a full body thermography and there's no invasive and it tells you way more than any radiation x-ray will do. Trust me. And who wants to drink radiated sugar to light up where your inflammation is and it's not a true reading? You do know that. When you drink that liquid, that goes in. What do you think sugar does? It inflames the area. So you could actually take somebody that maybe had, stage 2 inflammation, and you rip them up to stage 4 because they drank this. You do know it's toxic. You do know that it lights it up for a reason, okay? Heavy metal testing, it's the most accurate heavy metal, and it's probably the simplest. And then he'll be doing consultations, and he has a cell sonic regeneration with Lorraine, and they'll only be doing 5 treatments a day. He'll be there for 10 days. You can call Lorraine at 403-605-9216. Okay? The BHN app, go drive it. Go tell me what you think. BHNapp.com, okay? All right, and just know this, tonight we will be doing what's called the Practitioner-Patient Live Q&A. This is the meeting ID. Take a picture of it. And here's the Zoom link. And understand something, everybody. Anybody's allowed to come on every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want and you don't know how to do this, then just call the office and they will send you the Zoom link. All right? Okay? And if you want to come on, whether you're a practitioner or a patient and you've got questions, it's me on there answering the questions. The odd time I can't make it, then I'll have a couple of my master practitioners on there to answer your health questions. There's no charge for this, everyone. Okay? The Perfect Day Manual, I already told you, it's 20% off doing our Black Friday sale. Remember something, it's all about self-care, it always has been. But you go ahead and you just have some natural health practitioner keep treating you or some medical doctor keep treating you and you'll get mistreated. It's your body, it's your vehicle, and you got to learn how to maintain it. It's called a perfect day, all right? It's all about self-care and it's all about self-love, all right? You can't give what you're not. First, love yourself, everyone. We are Braveheart Nation, and you will see that I make you this promise that I will give 100 times more out than I take in. Why? Because I was created by God Almighty and I feed my spirit every day, and I made a promise that I would bring my vibration up even just 1% every day for the rest of my life. 3, 2, 1. We got this, Bravehearts. Check out my oath and see what you think. God bless and have a beautiful day.